push it from Hitbox.
Yeah. I just might because, yeah, this is just... What is up, ladies and gentlemen? You know what time it is. It's Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Well, 7:12, but whatever, disregard that. It's Linux Tech and Gaming, episode 28. Yeah, we're getting up there. 28 weeks so far. I think we've only missed 1 week because of the holidays, like during the Christmas time. And we have an awesome show planned for everyone because there's been a lot of stuff going on in the gaming scene right now with Game Developers Conference, with PAX East. A lot of Linux gaming news to share. So sit back, grab yourself something to drink, and get ready because we have a great show planned. Atomic and Osiris, how are you guys doing? How have you been?
Shitty as always.
I've been a little bit better than shitty.
Well, that's good. Let me actually lower my mic input a little bit because I'm noticing the VU meter is showing my voice overpowering you guys. And I know that that's been a complaint by some of our viewers that you guys, Osiris is quiet and I'm loud and Atomic's loud with me. So, Osiris, how are you doing?
Better than shitty, that's for sure.
All right. That's awesome. Okay. So, each week we go through, our first little segment is Atomic shares with us a Linux game that he picks. What game do you have for it? Oh, wait, you know what? What am I doing? I'm just like all discombobulated. We do have a Steam group, so I just wanted to share that. It's Linux Tech and Gaming on Steam, and it allows you to, basically meet other gamers, not necessarily Linux only, so if you are a Windows user and you want to, just be in a community of other gamers and, are chill, laid back, like having fun, gaming and whatnot, check it out. It's on Steam, Linux Tech and Gaming. Join the Steam group, and that's an easy way to connect with any one of us and our fellow, community members. And if you're interested in the IRC channel, which some people like doing, you can go to that. It's on freenode, and it is just # Linux Tech and Gaming. I will actually try to monitor that the best I can. I'm the hub tonight, like we used to do in the beginning, but Atomic's been the hub for the last month and a half, 2 months, and I thought I would be the hub again and give it a try. So we are on 3 different services, so our viewers are a little bit segregated as far as that goes. Some are on Twitch, some are on YouTube, some are on Hitbox. That's just what we're choosing to do. So we want to provide content to everybody because you may not like one or the other services, so you're on one of those services. And we have the freenode server with Linux Tech and Gaming IRC client if you did want to chat with us live, not using one of those other services. So we have naked kids running in the background at Osiris's place. That's awesome.
They're not naked.
I know, I'm just kidding. All right. And the last thing is blah.
Blah.
Blah,
Yeah, blah is
like
good.
blah.
No, if you're interested in helping out the show, give it a retweet, guys, or a tweet right now, or share it on your favorite social media site. You can share it out whichever one you want, as far as whatever service you enjoy watching it on, and that would be helpful to us. That would be great. And let's get into it. Atomic, what game do you have for us this week?
This week I have Borderlands, the pre-sequel.
What? That's out for Linux?
No,
You're playing it in Wine.
it's just a Windows game and it doesn't even run in Wine.
All right.
But Yeah, it does run on Linux, and this, if you're unfamiliar with Borderlands, go screw yourself. It's an RPG. It's a first-person shooter RPG, and it has a very specific formula. And really, the only thing that Borderlands pre-sequel adds to that formula is active health management. That's pretty much it. You still shoot people in the head. They still die saying pithy sayings. Just now you're on a moon and you need oxygen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
That's the thing.
Osiris did a review of it, right, Osiris?
Yes, he did.
That.
Yeah, so if you're interested in checking out a review by one of the hosts of the show, go check out Osiris's YouTube channel. It's one of his more recent videos. It is can you remind everybody what your YouTube channel can be found through your Player Me, right?
That is correct. Yes. And,
All right.
The video should also be on that page. Also, but I can paste the link. Also, I think. Can we paste links? Does that work?
I think so.
Maybe, kind of, sort of.
Maybe kind of so. Well, we'll try. Oh wow, Hitbox is awesome these days. It actually put the video in the chat. Look at that.
Oh, really? So people can play it right there in chat? Because I think it's a wait, did they change Hitbox to be Flash Chat now? Because it didn't used to be Flash Chat. But anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But I see the video in chat.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, I see it in chat. Yeah, Twitch does like.
What? Twitch does to ha ha ha? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, it just takes a blank link.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Oh, that's lame.
Twitch is lame. I know. I have to hate on Twitch at least one time per show. And then you and I get into it and, you say,
Yeah, and we don't even know why you hate it.
Yeah. Oh, come on. I don't have to tell you every time why I hate Twitch. Don't even get me started.
It's called Twitch.
Yeah. No.
That is kind of cool though. I do like this little flashing going on in here in the chat. It could be abused, but I like it.
Yeah. Nobody in our chat would ever abuse it. We have good.
Here comes the abuse.
Yeah, right. Here comes the rapage. Let me get Steam open here. For those of you that aren't familiar with Borderlands, series, we're going to attempt to do a screen share here with you guys, because technology. Yeah, as soon as Steam opens, I'm like way slacking right now on being the hub of the show.
Technology is a thing.
Yeah. All right. Featured. We'll do Search the Store, Borderlands, the pre-sequel. It's still $59.99. Interesting.
Do you know that you can just search the Steam store in a browser?
Yes, I am aware of that. So I'm going to go to our streaming software here, which is OBS Studio, which has really come a long way. And boom, look at that. Magic, people. I just switched. And now we will show you guys Borderlands, the pre-sequel. A little video for you guys. If it's gonna play.
By the way,
It just froze. Oh, here we go.
Things are gonna get a lot better
new
around
DLC
here
was
once I'm in
released this
charge.
week.
Thanks
For the game?
Awesome.
Yeah.
High five. Or, not.
Apparently, you're playing Cat
Oh, goody.
Wait, apparently what?
the game, the DLC takes place in Claptrap Spring.
Oh, wow.
At least
Nice.
that's what I got from the trailer.
inevitably that means that there's going to be added achievements that I'm then going to have to play even more to get those achievements unlocked.
I don't think I saw this preview of the game, or this trailer. I don't know what you'd call it. Frag trap. Look at nobody. Oh, wow. They just like... This actually is a really good trailer for the game, I think. Holy cow. The way that they laid it out, and they got the background music playing. 3 gajillion laser guns, it says. Gajillion. Oh my gosh. And why the hell is this graphic still wrong? Whoa, what did I just do? Steam just crashed. No. I don't understand why Steam did that. Or wait, or did I just switch workspaces maybe? No? What the hell? I know, right? Oh no. Yeah, Steam crashed. Steam noped. Alright, you guys get the picture. Borderlands, the pre-sequel. I would say if you're going to get it, wait for a Game of the Year edition. Or wait for another sale.
I would definitely.
I wouldn't pay $60 for it. Unless you're brand new to the series and you really, really want to support Aspire Media, which they did a great job.
Series, go play Borderlands 1.
Well,
There's
yes,
no
you're right.
Borderlands.
I mean,
that's blasphemy. Did you just say Borderlands 1?
Borderlands 1.
Yeah.
We can't play Borderlands 1.
No, Linux people can't.
Wine, man.
Yeah,
wine.
and wine.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
The wine support.
The wine support. Yes. All right. So getting into our first, we kind of added this segment, and it's been going good so far, and it's hardware news. So what we have to share with you this week related to hardware is a water-cooled Raspberry Pi. Now, it's not new. Yeah, just because, right? Reasons. It's not new, but it, it's pretty damn interesting, to say the least. This thing...
I thought since you were interested in Raspberry Pis, you'd be interested in a water-cooled Raspberry Pi.
Heck yeah, man. A water-cooled Raspberry Pi.
This has to be the smallest water-cooled PC on the planet.
Yeah,
it has to be.
I would have to agree. Look at this thing. Oh my gosh. Look at that. It's so cute.
And that erotic name, too.
The wet pie. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That is erotica, like to the extreme.
Who doesn't want the wet pie?
Oh, jeez. Yes. All the wet pies.
Is that a wet cream pie?
Well, so who posted so you posted this, Atomic?
Yeah.
All right. What can you share with us about it?
I found it through the PC Master Race subreddit. That's about all I can share with you.
Come on, really?
Seriously,
oh my
that's
gosh.
all I know about it.
Oh, all right.
I mean, from looking it over, though, like the water cooled part is nothing but a novelty. It's not all that useful, except for it keeps it in the turbo mode. It seems like it keeps it just cool enough so it stays at turbo.
Okay, yeah, because I mean the CPU that's on Raspberry Pis are the Core A7s, right? They're not Atom chips, are they? ARM, thank you. Yes, yeah, that's what no, you're right. They're ARM, like my Banana Pi, which I have right here, you can see looks damn similar to a Raspberry Pi. And so is this water cooling kit. I wonder if it would work for my Banana Pi. It almost looks like it's got the same exact board layout. I'd have to see if it worked.
I don't think this is something
I would
that's for
assume
sale.
it would.
I don't know if this is for sale.
I got the impression it was a custom one-off, but that it might be possible to get more of them. I'm not sure.
Interesting. I do
All
like
right.
that though.
All right, I just turned you guys up. Hopefully that's better. That's as far as I can turn you two up. I had mumble lowered a little bit in Pavu control, so that's my fault. Because I don't think I have it lowered in mumble itself, but let me look. Configure settings, audio output. Okay, says it's good. All right, awesome. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so this banana pie water cooling kit here. Yeah, this is like, it's a tiny British micro pump. It's a drawing the current from the pie itself. Wow.
Yeah, something like that.
Huh.
Anyway.
Yeah, moving on. It's kind of like a novelty type thing. I mean, it is cool. It's cool. So, our next topic we have for you guys this week is there's been quite a few people that have done hands-on reviews of the new Steam controller because of Game Developers Conference. And yes, there's other big YouTubers that are in this kind of tech scene on YouTube and whatnot, and Twitch, that have had hands-on on it with it at PAX East, I believe, or I'm not sure how he got his hands on it, but he talked about it and gave his opinions and whatnot. This article is from Polygon. So, there's the new Steam controller, and as you can see, it's definitely quite different than a regular Xbox that we're so accustomed to, with the two analog sticks, right where your thumbs would rest, and X, Y, and B on the upper right from the analog sticks. This is like pretty far out there, in my opinion. Now,
this is an abomination for anyone who knows.
Yeah, it almost is.
About the original Steam controller with the touchscreen. Where the fuck is my touchscreen, Valve?
Well, do you really think you'd be utilizing the touchscreen? Come on.
Yes.
I do. Yes, for PC gaming, and yes, but then you would have to ask yourself, how much is the manufacturing cost of that?
I don't care how much the manufacturer
costs. He's like,
I mean, an Xbox controller cost you about what, $59.99 or some $49.99 or something.
The 360 or the new one?
Could you really bring to market a controller that's more than $59 and it be considered successful?
You mean people buy it? You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not. Right.
Osiris,
it'd have to be super modded special.
Bucks.
Oh.
And that's a computer.
Yeah, when you put it that way. I have nothing on that.
They could put Android on this thing and still sell it for less than $100. Seriously.
True. I was trying to defend their thought process, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think some of the people, because the original Xbox controller came out with the original wave of the demonstration units that were sent out, and that was the number one complaint for the Steam machines, was the controller. Now, how much of that was due to people not used to using that style of controller? I don't know, because we do have to remember that the original Xbox controller went through like 2 or 3 variants before it became what it is now. So I don't know. This is basically an Xbox controller with some changes, what it looks like, which I don't know if that's a bad or a good thing.
Yeah. The thing I think that people need to remember is that the Steam machines are, their intention is to bring gaming, quote unquote, or different gaming, PC gaming, to the family room. And so for those of you that are PC gamers and you're hardcore, I guess we'll call it, or pretty, you've been doing it a while, you use a keyboard and a mouse. You don't use a controller. So I think what people need to really realize about this Steam controller with Steam machines is that that's not the only interface to interface with SteamOS and the Steam machine. This might be
Incorrect.
good. This might be good for, like, let's say, certain games. Maybe like a Portal type game or an easy platformer that goes left and right. But you're not going to, personally me, I'm not going to take this and try to play Team Fortress 2 with it.
But that was the original point of the mouse pad.
Maybe
controller.
that's what maybe that's what their intention was, but I just don't see, unrooting keyboard mouse gamers with a controller. If you guys call it blasphemy or call it whatever, like it's a no-no to use a controller on PC gaming.
That is true, but it's not intended for that crowd. This is the bridge between console and PC, so that the people who are maybe a little apprehensive and trying PC and feel comfortable setting something up underneath their TV and now play Team Fortress 2. Team Fortress 2 works very well. Like, I wouldn't do it because that's crazy. Who does that? But Team Fortress 2 works very well with a controller.
Oh, it does. I used to do it, so I can speak on it for sure. Here's the controller, that I used to PC game with. Majority of the games that I play now, I do use the keyboard and mouse. I've fully switched over. I'm trying to think of which games I still do use, like maybe Bastion or Bastion, however you pronounce it. I use the controller still, and a few other games maybe only I use the controller. But
what I was getting at earlier is there are games on PC that you don't want to try to control them with a keyboard and mouse. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
A 2D platformer, you are not going to play a 2D platformer with this.
I think Bastion's a great example.
Yes, exactly. Okay. You are going to play Bastion with a controller. You're not going to be playing Bastion with a keyboard and mouse. It feels weird. It feels awkward.
Yeah.
Period.
But
the whole, I saw a perfect graphic for this. The whole point of PC gaming is you can use whatever you want to control it.
Right.
And
yes.
It
Good
had
point.
Keyboard, mouse, and controller, and joystick and steering wheel.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's kind of what I was trying to say in the beginning, was that this kind of augments, PC gaming, where it's kind of a little bit of a bridge between a keyboard and a full-on controller. Like if you have an Xbox 360 controller, or you have a gamepad for your PC already, and you game on it, especially us, we're theoretically already running SteamOS. We already run Steam on Linux. It's just in a distro. It's not in big picture mode. At least I don't. But I've tried out big picture mode, and that's basically SteamOS. More or less. I mean, don't get me wrong. But so if I like this controller for a particular game, I'm most likely going to keep using that. But if there's some new game that I get, and the Steam controller came with the Steam machine that I bought, let's just say, I'll give it a try on this thing. I don't know. I'm just trying to say, like, I don't know if it's going to be as successful as Valve thinks if their intention was that this would be the only interface to SteamOS and Steam machines. That's all. And that's just my opinion. Yeah.
There's 2 points to that. Historically speaking, a controller will make or break a whole console system. That has happened before. People will reject the whole console, no matter how good or bad it is, based simply on its controller.
Yeah.
And since this is not sold at PC gamers per se, it's supposed to be for anybody and everybody. So like a Walmart type of thing, or maybe a Best Buy type of thing. This is an important factor. What the Steam machine will be.
Yeah, and it says here the 2 things that make up a Steam machine. It says in this article are that it's obviously running SteamOS, and it's packaged with the controller. There you go.
Right.
So
this is a really important thing.
Yep. And it's and this is like the 3rd iteration of it or something, or a number of revisions. So I wonder why they finally settled on this. Like, who was the control group, or who were the people that actually were giving feedback? That would be interesting to kind of learn a little bit of behind the scenes type stuff. But
Well, if you remember, there was an initial wave of like 300 or 500 Steam machines
yes,
that were sent
it
out
was
to people.
300. Yep.
And they're part of that feedback group. And also, if you look at the controller, it's also it still has a trackpad on it, like a laptop style trackpad.
On the right, yeah.
On the on the right.
The left, I
don't
think,
know
is the
what-
directional pad, more or less.
I believe so.
That's
Yes.
what it looks like anyway, the arrow.
Yeah.
But not arrow, the plus symbol is what I meant to say.
So they still kind of hit their mark, because the biggest thing with PC games that differentiates it from console games is the amount of finite accuracy and control that you have over certain things, and you need that for certain games like MOBAs and stuff where you're swiping and going all over the screen. An analog stick will just not do it there. Period. So maybe this might work. I don't know. I would definitely want to try one out for $49.99 too. Not a bad. That's a good price point.
I think so, yeah.
So now all we need is some real Steam machines. Try them on.
Right. Well, and they did. There were some at Game Developers Conference by I'm trying to think of that company, the Zotac, right? They got one, and I'm sure there's a few
They're-
others.
They're
Yeah.
in the notes right there. I don't know why they're in the wrong section. Maybe I did that. So that's a good
He's
segue.
like, okay, sure.
we can-
Go ahead, segue over. Yep.
So there was Steam machines re-announced at the GDC 2015. I say re-announced because they were already announced last year. And then when there was no Steam machines, those companies then went on to sell those machines as like HTPCs and different kinds of different computers, whatever. Cyber has one. I believe Zotac has one. Cyber Power PC has one. Well, no, Cyber Power PC has one called the Cyber Steam machine. And the best one I've seen so far, which is probably stupid expensive, is the Asus Republic of Gamers Greats, as in GR8S. This thing is tiny.
I have it on stream right now.
Yeah,
It's
I think it's 2 liters or something is how they
2.5 liter.
2.5
Yep,
liters.
chassis.
I
Yeah.
don't know why they're doing it by liters.
Because you can pour water in it. No, I'm just, you can put your
Water-cooled
beer.
PC.
Yeah, put your beer or liquor in it.
But
But-
this thing looks
Beer-cooled
pretty
PC.
small.
Yeah, it does. I mean,
And it comes with Wi-Fi built in, dual band 802.11 AC. I'm trying to find the specs. I don't think they announced any specifics, but I'm pretty sure if it's a Republic of Gamer, it's going to be stupid expensive with amazingly high specs. Oh, okay, here we go.
It's
i5
right
and
in-
i7 variants,
okay.
and they just say GeForce, of course, but we don't know. which
Oh,
ones.
wow. It's got a built-in Miracast receiver, which means you can mirror, I think, your display from your tablet or your phone onto whatever display this device is connected to. I think that's what a Miracast receiver is. Just using logic in my head, anyway. Miracast receiver, right? But I don't know for sure. I'm just guessing. But incredibly low heat and power use, with a low operational noise of 20 dB at idle. It's got slide-off covers for additional 2.5 inch hard drives and SSDs and DIMM upgrades. Precision engineered, kind of like Fubex, my server back here. This was precision engineered,
They should have hired you.
right? I think so.
Would have had
Hardware,
the best
decoder.
cardboard case that anybody could buy.
Yeah, right. So where are these, the Cyber Steam machine? Let me look it up real quick.
Are you trying to make my eyebrow rip off of my face?
Cyber
Eyebrow.
Steam machines. There's actually one on the store.steampowered.com. You want
Here it is. I found it. No, I got it. It's right here.
It's interesting that
It's spelled with an
okay,
S.
Yes,
And
right.
look at the price points. I don't know what what
$4.99
gamer?
and $13.99.
No, what gamer is going to spend $14.99 on a Steam machine?
Where are you looking at?
I'm at Tweaktown.
No. This is actually on Steam's website. Here you go.
Well, I'm looking at it. It's got it's SYBER.
No, but it's official. It's officially on Steam's website with the price.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a better source.
True.
The price point is $4.99 for Steam Machine A. They have different.
Is there
ones.
3 different models? That's
Yes.
what this site is saying.
And it says $13.99 on, not 14, but $13.99 for the X.
So they must have changed the prices by $100 since this article was written. That's the only thing I can ascertain. But
Yeah, but
anyway,
still Steam.
yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree that your source is a better source than some website.
I really do hope that Valve is getting on AMD's ass here, because the Steam Machine A includes an R9 270.
And the defense ad, I heard the 270s work well with the open source drivers.
They damn well better.
Well,
you are right about that.
there's we do have some new. I have some news to share about the open source Radeon SI drivers later on in the show. But go ahead, Tomic. What were you saying?
And the Steam Machine X just doesn't make any sense. If you're going to put something in your living room, you actually don't need an i7.
Right.
I would top that thing out at 40 at the i5 4690K.
Why
Yeah.
did they even skip i5? It went from i3 to i7.
Yeah, what the hell? They could drop the price off of this $100.
Yeah. Easily. Yeah.
Well,
They could have gave
$99.
you more hard drive space. Like, because this is a gaming machine that requires space.
Well, that's a 2.5 inch drive.
Yeah.
And while they have 1.5 terabyte drives and 2 terabyte drives, they're not. Well, the 1.5 terabyte drive that's available is a 9.5 millimeter. The 2 terabyte drives that are available are 12.5 millimeters or 15 millimeters or some really thick, chunky size. And this is probably built for a,
This-
standard height.
This $600 one, the Cyber Steam Machine I, this thing is, they could have. I mean, they got the 750 Ti, which is awesome. They got the 8 gig of RAM, which is great. I mean, probably the minimum. You could go 4, yeah, you could go 4, but 8's good. And then the i3 4150. Can't you? They go the G, that G3220 or whatever that one is, or no?
The 3258.
I don't know if you're.
You're talking about the Pentium that can overclock.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
to the
not,
wall.
that's not a pre-built solution, really, because you're not going to overclock it in this thing.
I didn't say overclock anything.
Well, that's what it's special. That chip was released as a enthusiast model chip for overclocking. Otherwise, it's just whatever.
Well, that's my
It's just a
point.
regular-
They could save a lot of money by providing that chip. And then if the person is that, they're an enthusiast, or they realize they can get more power out of it.
Overclock it. You're not going to overclock it inside this case. There's just not enough space and cooling.
Yeah,
That's why they-
we can't.
258?
I don't know what the cooling looks like in this thing.
Yeah, actually,
We can't see inside of
there
it.
is.
The cool.
It's going to use the stock cooler.
Well, I
all of
understand
these are gonna
that.
use a stock cooler.
I know that. But I don't know
But,
what the design looks like. Is what I'm saying for where it's pulling in air and how the design is.
Unless it has I can tell you just looking at the size, unless it has a big piece of metal on it, which there's no room for that, or it has a water cooler, overclocking would be iffy. I would not do that in something this size, not blowing enough air.
Yeah, it's
You're
pretty
just
tight.
asking for
It's
trouble.
basically a heat pack. Yeah.
Here's the logic that I'm going on. They're going to use a stock Intel cooler for the 4790K, which is probably going to throttle it. But you're looking at using the same cooler on 2 different CPUs. because it's probably going to be the same one on the i3 as well.
You think?
The 3258 can overclock reasonably well, even in a not so well cooled case, on the stock cooler.
And then my logic would be if you knew about all that, you probably wouldn't just go buy this anyway.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Osiris, you put together, you put together 2 builds recently for, Twitter, or people on Twitter that support the show and hang out in the community. And, both of those builds, one of them, the budget was, what, 1,000? And the other budget was like 1,600, I think.
Right. Yeah.
And you put together some really, really, awesome machines. And looking at these prices here and for what you're getting,
well, it's not great for us. It's a pre-built though. If you went to Walmart or your local brick and mortar, this is about what you would be getting. No, you'd be getting less than this. I guarantee you.
Oh, way less. Yeah, you wouldn't get right.
So it's not bad. It's not terrible. I just don't like the hard drive solution. So you got a spinning mechanical drive in there. And I guess that's okay. But you're only getting 1 terabyte of it. That's what? You know how fast I can fill that up with games? Like, whose Steam library can't fill that up?
Certainly not mine. I could probably fill my 3 terabyte drive.
Wait a second.
Install all of my games.
What the fart? I'm looking at these from Cyber Gaming. These must not be considered Steam machines. Yeah.
Why do you say?
Because look at this image under specs, pricing, and availability. It says Microsoft Windows 8.1. Like, what? What the fuck? Right on their website, on the Tweaktown website.
Oh, that is weird.
Not on the Steam, not on the Steam website, obviously, but
they're probably going to make them
in this right there. Or, do you think they would just provide Windows 8.1? That's why. Oh, that's why this price is $100 more. There you go. That just now it makes sense. Yep, these are all $100 more.
Yeah,
yep,
exactly.
Yep, and it's for
Windows tax.
Yeah, Windows tax.
He's not opposed to people putting Windows or whatever it is that they want, because his vision is that you can use whatever it is that you want to do with the Steam machine.
You just can't call it a Steam machine if it's not running Steam on.
Yeah, right. Pretty much.
And this is not terrible though for if this is the specs and price point. This is not terrible. It could be worse.
It's very true. Very true. All right. Wanted to talk a little bit about the Xbox One is going to have there's a wireless dongle that's been announced, and it allows you to use the Xbox One controller, the wireless, with a PC finally. Atomic, did you found this? Or who found this one?
I found this one, but there's not much to say except for just like the Xbox 360 controller, now there is a Xbox One wireless dongle. And all that really means to me is it won't take long for some smart Linux dude to go hack it so it works on Linux.
Right. I
mean, should be like UAV compliant.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it's probably the Universal Serial Bus interface or whatever. You would think.
Well, of course it is.
Or Microsoft might have like some weird ass Xbox One DRM in it.
What the heck is what's crossplay?
Oh, Windows 10 and Xbox Live.
Oh, that is kind of neat. Okay. I guess they demonstrated crossplay at GDC.
Which is all the more reason why the Steam box needs to crush the Xbox.
Yeah.
The Steam machines need to crush the Xbox.
Yeah. Yep. All right. And then the last hardware information we have, and because we're running out of time here, we have so much stuff to cover. The FreeSync drivers are going to be released on March 19th. but apparently there is no indication if Linux drivers will have, it implemented. But I will say that there's news that AMD is going to be releasing new updated drivers this month. That was one of the topics we have for the main part of the show. So we might as well just segue over to that, because it's possible that they're connected. The FreeSync driver being released on March, what was it again? March 19th?
19th.
Yeah, there's no link here, unfortunately, that I see. But, so this other, where is it? Let me scroll down and find it here. AMD to release. Oh, I didn't put it in here. It's in my email. Gosh darn it. Go ahead, Osiris or Atomic. Just go to the next, go to a different topic, and because I do want to cover this, though.
Let's see. There's a Linux port of Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor confirmed.
Half-Life 3 confirmed? Shadow of Mordor.
Yes.
Shadow of Mordor. I'm not familiar with that. Is that the game that people, were running a benchmark in, and it's like capped at something?
100 frames a second.
Yeah,
okay.
that's the same
Why
broken
did
shit.
game developers do
there's-
that?
Because
Like, I don't.
they didn't. They forgot to order their 144 hertz monitors.
Like, if you're gonna put in a
somebody there is a
benchmark,
console peasant.
yeah, if you're gonna put a benchmark in
exactly.
your game, what in the fuck? Excuse my language.
don't-
Are you
I
limiting
don't-
the games for FPS? That makes no sense.
I don't think it has. It's the engine itself. You're not imposing. Oh, you can't go above this many frames. The engine
Oh,
just
okay.
Yeah, it's just like
isn't
Skyrim.
doing it.
Skyrim won't go over 60 before the ragdoll effects start like eating itself alive.
and the source engine has an FPS cap, way up at 300, but it still has an FPS cap. And
That's true, but to lock it at 100 seems kind of,
yeah, it's a little bit low.
yeah.
But in the brighter news, broken games coming to Linux puts us on par with everybody else. Now we have all the same broken games. Yay. Yeah, this is actually a pretty good. This won GDC Game of the Year award, I believe. So that's actually, all kidding aside, this is
Shadow of Mordor?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
And now we can all go and cry when it actually caps out at like 80 FPS for all Linux users.
Right.
Well,
So I was going to
this
open it here.
Furrow, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So
Shadow of
don't
Mordor
know.
is still $49.99. Here
I don't
is
get that same FPS cap with the Furrow games as I do with the
Oh,
other games.
As far as the benchmarks go, I'm not certain if there's actually a benchmark in the game. I could be wrong about that, but I think it's
Yeah.
people have been benchmarking with it, but it
Oh.
doesn't have a benchmark built in.
Oh,
to
well,
the
then I
game.
must have misunderstood quote-unquote benchmarkers, because when I mentioned that to Osiris, I thought he made the comment that the game I mentioned benchmarking, he said there's not a benchmark in that game. So I thought for consistency, when you benchmark something, you run you actually run what's called a benchmark. No?
No, not necessarily. So all you have to do is make sure that
Okay.
you run, so that you get a scientific benchmark, make sure that you run the same environment and variables and situation over and over again. It doesn't necessarily need to be a quote unquote like.
But you'll
benchmark.
never be able to redo the same exact thing.
can.
Exactly? No.
Yep.
How?
Especially like easily. Like also.
Wow, look at
single-player
these
games are
graphics.
scripted. Most single player games are scripted, like events. And
Oh,
even
I
if
see
they're
what you're
not-
saying. Okay.
And even if they're not scripted events, like let's just say you drop in a sky room and you know there's a place where there's 10 of these NPC monsters that are trying to kill you. All you got to do is go there, put up your shield, and make it a rainy day through
Yeah.
the thing, and then you just do that over and over again. Same instances. They might not do exactly the same thing, but you're pretty much doing the exact same thing. And that's how they benchmark non-benchmark games.
Okay. Wow, I just played the game Shadow of Mordor on Steam. Their video on the Steam page, and it looks really cool. I mean, the graphics look pretty damn impressive, and it looks like a game that I might be interested in. Is it a RPG style?
It's gonna be like Witcher type stuff. But
Like
real
Witcher? Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, so I don't know if I'd like it. Open
life.
world,
They're saying
adventure.
that it does have a benchmark.
Okay,
It does have a
that's what I
real
thought.
benchmark, but,
Okay,
but sometimes, like like Last Light, the benchmark is an actual separate executable. So we don't know for sure if we'll actually get that benchmark. That's not a guarantee.
okay. All right. Well, that was kind of one. I kind of wanted to segue into an updated AMD driver and see if it had anything to do with the FreeSync release on March 19th. So our good buddy over at Phoronix has informed everybody that remember back in early December when there was the big Catalyst 14.12 driver update for Linux and Windows users, AMD FGLRX for Linux users. There's not really been any AMD updates besides the Omega one, which was recently. Well, now there's actually wait, Omega is the open source one. Wait, did Omega replace the FGLRX?
Yes.
Okay, it did.
And it was just a name added on to.
Oh, so it was still
thing.
yeah, I gotcha.
It was still FGLRX.
Okay, so according to Michael Larabelle over at Phoronix,
I got it installed right here. I ought to know.
so there within the next 2 weeks, the AMD will be releasing an updated Catalyst /FGLRX driver for Linux. So we'll have to wait and see what the new improvements that Linux gamers will get if you have AMD hardware. I know that a couple of viewers of the show, like Systrom, runs a really odd card, like the 7990 or whatever, which is like a dual GPU. And I have some AMD hardware that I can test it on, although I say that I will and then I never do because of all the other stuff I do. But Atomic, you still have your AMD card?
Yeah.
Your mining
Sitting
ones? Yeah.
It's sitting on top there,
Okay.
just collecting dust.
Yeah. So this is exciting news. I mean, anytime there's a Linux GPU driver update, it could mean an improvement of 10 FPS in your or some major bug gets fixed in one of your favorite games. So, which is actually a perfect segue to talk about the improvements that The Witcher 2 has seen, which is, pretty big news. If you are on the Steam community forum at all, The Witcher 2 has gotten so much of an update that the gamers are rejoicing and now saying that the game is playable on AMD hardware, even the open source AMD drivers with their Witcher 2 update. Now, Witcher 2 is done by virtual programming, and it runs in a wrapper called the Eon wrapper, or Eon, which is similar to Wine, but it's a different wrapper. And this update you know, from the few comments that I read from gamers and developers, Peter Mulholland, he's a developer of The Witcher 2. You know, he just makes a few comments about why the lack of performance with the AMD drivers, you know, and the fact that one of the problems is the game's OpenGL has no threading, and that the Red engine does use multiple threads to obtain performance. What? Much as Wine's CSMT does. They are now stuck using one thread to perform all of the rendering tasks. But so anyway, so it's gotten a huge update, The Witcher 2, and people are, you know, now basically claiming that it's playable, which is, you know, there was a big uproar when this game first came out because it was in a wrapper and it wasn't native, you know, and it's like, why didn't they just contribute to Wine and get the game running in Wine instead of doing their own private wrapper, proprietary wrapper and stuff? But, you know, here's one comment from somebody named Futissimo. He was getting 10 frames per second. Or wait, I'm getting about 10 frames per second down from the Windows version. Okay, so he was saying that he got 10 less than, you know, 10 less in Linux than he did in the Windows version. But that was a year ago. And now he's getting 40 to 60 in Kubuntu 14.04 with a NV660. What? That sounds like an NVIDIA card. So the improvements, I guess I'm trying to point out, were to the game itself, not the AMD driver. Like, I kind of just confused everybody a little bit. I confused myself. So now the Witcher 2, you know, it got a big update, and the game runs a lot better. And, you know, Vulkan, we talked about Vulkan last week. Vulkan is a new API from AMD that it's coming. No, not from AMD.
Not from AMD.
Sorry, yes, I'm correcting myself.
Kronos
It's not,
Group.
Yeah, from the Kronos Group, yep. So it'll be a low-level API, almost similar to Mantle.
AMD did contribute though.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So it says here, by the way, in my Linux PC with an HD 5850, he has good frames per second in the Witcher 2 beta. The game is playable on Catalyst for him. Catalyst driver is the FGLRX driver. So I actually, you can see I put a comment. Thanks for improving the game. You know, we at Linux Tech and Gaming would love to do a review of the game. If you do, you send out review copies. You know, and then he just says we'd have to contact CD Projekt about that, and you know, they're unable to grant that sort of request. So anyway, that's, you know, anytime a game, huh?
That ungodly passively cooled 7850.
Yeah. You know, anytime a Linux game receives an update is big, because I originally, you know, I had some pretty sore points with Deadfall Adventures and Painkiller Hell and Damnation. You know, the game gets released. Deadfall Adventures did. I paid full price like an idiot. It was like when I first started getting into kind of PC gaming, and should not have paid full price, and the game was kind of broken for my AMD system. So just pointing out that, you know, The Witcher 2, virtual programming, those guys are, you know, kind of came through for us Linux gamers, and improved the game itself to better run. So I wonder if the Deadfall Adventures also by chance was updated. Who knows? But
Unlikely.
he says unlikely.
Now, were those Unreal Engine games? Forget.
Yes, they are. Correct.
Yeah. I think most of the Unreal Engine games,
No,
had issues.
they're not going to be updated.
I think it's a fundamental problem with the engine.
It is.
Well, it has something to do with the shaders as
Yeah,
well, I
that's part of
think.
it.
Yep. Specifically AMD, there's issues with AMD and the Unreal Engine 4. Wait, I'm pretty sure the game The Witcher No, The Witcher 2 doesn't use Unreal Engine. Never mind. It uses the Red Engine.
Which
Duh.
now that I think about that, that makes me really concerned for BioShock.
Was
Well-
that an Unreal Engine?
Unreal 3, yeah.
Yeah, but no, BioShock could be Unreal Engine 4, and that's why it still isn't.
No,
it's
it's
still
not.
not
It's
released.
They're not going to change the engine.
No, it's 3.
Oh, okay.
They're not going to change the engine on the existing game.
Okay.
It's older. I think it's 2011, 12. What was that game?
2013.
2013. Yeah, I'm way the fuck off. But anyways, yeah, they're not gonna redo the engine on that game. I doubt.
Oh, I wasn't trying to say that they're redoing anything. I just didn't know that it was, Unreal Engine 3, I guess, for Linux. I mean, so you have confirmation that the Linux version is definitely Unreal Engine 3.
You don't change the engine of a game. That's not something simple. You can change the executable, but changing the game, the engine.
That's pretty much what you build on.
Yeah,
that's-
I'm well aware of what
you
a
have to
game
ta-
engine does. I'm just saying.
Do you know all these years that it takes to develop a game?
Yep.
That's making the game work in the engine
Right.
while people come up with the assets.
Yeah.
And Unreal Engine 4 just came out.
Right.
So,
That's true.
I doubt that
Right.
they would probably do more breaking than fixing if they tried it to even do that task.
Yeah.
So like something like Metro that they changed the engine over for them, that wasn't really a changing of an engine. That was an update of an engine.
Yeah. All right. Well, guess what, people? Steam OS now has 1,002 games. If you're,
Pause for dramatic.
yep. That is freaking awesome. 1,000 games. I mean, the newest Linux titles are games like Payday, Hotline Miami 2, Cities, Skylines, Parallax. The highest priced game in Linux is Wing IDE 5. The commercially available version, it's $120. That's quite a bit. But that's actually a programming IDE. So
Apparently Borderlands pre-sequel is the most expensive game.
Game, yeah, you're right. The Wing IDE 5 commercial version is not a game. It's just something that's available through Steam. To correct myself there.
Which I still don't understand that, because Steam is just not built for applications. Because I haven't gotten one, but I would expect it to act in the same way as it does with games. Like you launch one, and you can't launch another until you quit the first one. How do you do that? How do you single task like that? I don't understand.
Do you
This is
even
a
single
foreign
task, bro?
concept to me. I have a 4K monitor. I'm looking at 5 different windows in front of me. How the fuck?
Yeah.
That doesn't make it. And plus, let's just be honest. Linux has already got that distribution, application distribution figured out. Like,
Yeah.
so.
Well, that's something that Steam is just doing generally. They have a lot of Windows software on there.
Even that's
Apparently.
not good because I tried to use the overclocking software, the EVGA Precision X, through Steam because it has a downloader. But like you said, you can only do one thing at a time. So if you launch that, you can't launch the game.
So that is that is true. You can only do one thing at a time with applications.
The last time I tried it, now keep in mind this was I don't know how long ago, but when I tried it, yes, it worked exactly like you said.
Oh. That's a bunch of garbage.
Yep.
So, according to the source that I'm reading, there's 1,609 titles for Steam on OS X, and overall, there's 4,804 games on Steam. and the Steam market share, Steam Linux market share still remains around 1%. And there's not really been any major shifts in, power there or market share from Windows market share to Linux gaming market. But I will say that I've been seeing quite a bit of YouTube comments and Twitter people just mentioning and scratching their heads like, what is this Linux that people are talking about? I'm seeing it more now so than I did in the past. I think that the Game Developers Conference helped with that a little bit, and we're helping a little bit with that. I try to tweet out quite a bit of, hashtagging Linux and hashtagging gaming and mentioning Linux_TAG, which is our Twitter handle. Just trying to inform everybody that, hey, there's this awesome free operating system that can play games along, right up there with the best of them. Depending, here's my disclaimer, depending on the hardware that you run. But I mean, that's true in anything. Obviously, it all matters the hardware that you have. So, the next topic we have to share with you guys. Actually, I just kind of mentioned it. It's Hotline Miami. It gets a sequel. Osiris, what can you share with us?
So the sequel to the very, very stupidly popular Hotline Miami has now been released for day one release for all the platforms. So Windows and Linux, which is great to see day one releases on Linux. But the disclaimer is, it seems to be broken across I got that from multiple sources. There's hard lockups, the game freezes, kills your computer, and there's just general issues. So if you're thinking about this, I would look into it and make sure it gets patched before you pay your money for it.
Yeah, if it's available through Steam. The Steam Community Forum is what I always go to, under the Community Hub, and then go to discussions. And usually right at the top stickied is, Linux version or whatever. And you can just read a few posts in there to get a good idea of the state of the game. Most developers are good about putting known issues, because like Osiris just said, don't buy it until you're fully aware of what you're getting into, I mean, I will say that is kind of one of the disadvantages of PC gaming, is the fact that since there's such a wide variety of hardware, buying a game isn't automatic like it is with a console, where, you go into a store and you see all these games, you can pick one and it's going to work when you get it home. It's just going to work. There's no question in your mind. Whereas with PC,
that's not true anymore either for console games. Now there's patches that are 4 gigs large. It's getting kind of ridiculous all the way across the board.
Okay. That could be true. I don't know. I haven't console games in so long.
Granted that there's less issues on the console, but there is still stupid amounts of patching and stuff going on. My nephew brought his PlayStation over here, and we had sat there for 30 minutes watching it update and patch.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's like, what is this? This is not...
This is not a PC.
It's not Nintendo.
Nintendo? What? Nintendo couldn't even update itself. What do you mean?
Exactly. I don't want it updated.
Okay.
Play the game.
Gotcha.
See,
right.
here's one thing where the consoles are just killing themselves today. If you're going to do updates, if you have to do updates, overnight the shit.
Right. Yep.
Yes.
Do it when not when you turn it on and your intention was to sit down and fucking have a gaming session.
Yeah,
Don't interrupt my gaming session. Yeah, with all these updates all of a sudden. Yep. You're right.
If there's a game-breaking bug, okay. The game doesn't fucking launch.
Yeah.
Why?
I can see that being a problem.
Okay, but don't make the patch 60 fucking gigabytes.
Yeah, that's not a thing. I don't know what the... Never mind. Just gonna leave that low.
It's bigger than the physical medium that the game came on.
Yeah. Right. thank you to Nocturne Kitty and TLNZ Studios for the tweets of our show. That's much appreciated. And we have a few more topics to cover. We're doing good on time here. We have PhysX is now a shared source to the Unreal Engine 4 developers. Osiris, did you post this?
Yeah. I don't know since I don't program. I don't know what exactly this means, like in detail. But apparently, NVIDIA released the source code to the Unreal development team. People who, no, I think what they mean is the people who develop for Unreal Engine. I'm not even clear on that. Whether it's that or it's the other way around. But they released some kind of the physics code for them, which is good because
okay, it says here, just to clarify real quick for you before you go into your two reasons. NVIDIA and Epic Games have just announced that Unreal Engine 4 developers can view and modify the source of PhysX. This also includes the source for Apex, which is NVIDIA's Cloth and Destruction library.
Yeah, see, it doesn't really say clear. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means developers of Unreal Engine or the developers who use Unreal Engine.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it is a little.
Those are two important.
Yeah, they are. Right. Yes.
Well, I mean, either way, it's still good. Still good for us.
Right, as gamers. Yep.
Us, the Linux users don't have to get like GIMP down.
Okay, here we go. Here's clarification. So this is actually opening it up to developers of the Unreal Engine 4. So it says here that with a partnership, NVIDIA is providing all UE4 developers with not just a binary, but C++ source access to the CPU-based implementation of PhysX 3.3.3. So there you go. So this is, NVIDIA opens PhysX code to the UE4 developers. So the developers that actually code the Unreal Engine 4.
Yeah. I'm just reading the chat.
Each
There's
new
a lot of
version
hate for NVIDIA and their PhysX.
Each new version of Unreal Engine, Epic has embraced the latest graphics APIs to consistently raise the bar for the type of visuals that developers can achieve in their games. When you experience the huge realistic world of our kite demo running on NVIDIA Titan X, you see the result of Epic's long-standing commitment to state-of-the-art graphics.
So this is not open source, just so everybody knows. This is one of those lawyer speak type of agreements. Not everybody can go in there and do open source things to it and then share it.
It says that it's on GitHub network. It says here, the source for the NVIDIA PhysX can now be found as part of the Unreal Engine code on GitHub's network.
Okay, so Epic Games released the source code for the Unreal Engine 4 on their Git, but their Git is private. You can get in there. You have to have a Git account, and I've got access to their Git. All I did was get on there and request access to their Git, and they gave me access to their Git. And it was automatic. They didn't. It's not like I talked to somebody there.
Yeah.
Who gave me access? They just, they have a way for you to get access to it. So technically, yeah, anybody can get access to it. So
cool.
Yeah.
But I think there's certain things in whether you call it open source or not, though. Open source would imply certain things, while shared source is not the same thing.
Yeah.
And they specifically said shared source, so I'm gonna assume that this is not under the open source license. or the GPL or whatever the hell's all the open source things. They're sharing it for the mutual financial benefit of themselves, which is cool. I don't really care. I mean, people got to make money.
Yeah.
The GameWorks libraries are not included in this, so no, that doesn't mean any GameWorks for Unreal Engine, which means in turn no GameWorks for Linux, as far as I know. I don't think GameWorks works on Linux, or I haven't seen titles with GameWorks on Linux. So I don't know. And then according to this article, PhysX can, with it being a source like this, the source code being put out there, it could work theoretically under OpenCL. I guess that's cool. I don't really know what that would mean for games, but for other things, maybe like 3D rendering or 3D modeling, maybe that's a thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Save a copy. Sorry, go ahead and talk about the next thing. I'm trying to fix the overlay here. Just because it's bothering me.
That is the next thing. That's all the things.
Is it? I thought there was one other thing.
See you next week, everybody.
No.
Not unless it's in a secret department. There's no more things. No more things.
Okay. Well, while you screw with the overlay, go and check out our Steam group. The Linux Tech and Gaming Steam group.
Player.me.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, we don't have any player.me's right now.
Well, they're just not on the overlay because I didn't realize that Atomic added them per stream. Or, I mean, they're in his scene, and I didn't do that. My bad. My bad, bro.
An easier way to just find out all the info would just be to go to linuxtechandgaming.com.
Yes.
And find out everything you need to know about everything you really ever wanted to know on one website.
Yes. Yeah, because we should start, pushing, not pushing, but, we would like traffic on our website, obviously. We put in work on the website. Here it is. You should be seeing it. There, we post, news, information about Linux gaming and stuff. It's not consistent, I admit. It's kind of sporadic and stuff, but you got to realize, we're all really busy, and we, when we get some information, I try to put it up there on the website when we have time and stuff. You can actually even watch the live. You can actually watch the live show on the website instead of going to one of the other services. It's just an embedded page of Hitbox, but nonetheless, it is there. And if you scroll down, I'm not seeing the chat. I thought we had the IRC embedded here.
Yep.
For some reason, it's not down here. For me, it's not. I don't know. Maybe it's my browser is acting weird. Am I on the wrong page? Podcast.
linuxtechandgaming.com/live.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it just didn't populate for you for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so we got linuxtechandgaming.com. Check out the site. There's updated, like Oddworld was recently released for Linux. New and Tasty, where I think we talk about it last week? Or
About what?
Oddworld, New and Tasty.
Oh yeah, we did.
Okay, we did, yeah. So, we put some news up here, and we have blog style posts as well once in a while. Those are even more sporadic. Those aren't very often. But, like I said, the About Us, or like Osiris just said, if you wanted to learn a little bit about each of us and get our links and whatnot, it's all right here. linuxtechandgaming.com/about. There's, a kind of a little bit of a history about us and stuff, why we created the podcast and whatnot. And, You know, there's each of our links for our Twitch, our Twitters, our hitboxes, and our YouTubes and whatnot. And if you did want to contact us, there's also a contact form on here. So if you want to get in touch with us for whatever reason, you know, and you didn't want to put it in chat right now or something, this would be one way to do that. I mean, there's several ways to get in touch with any one of us, but this is one way. And we do have, for whatever reason, the calendar. Look at this, Osiris. For some reason, the streaming schedule for me, the calendar is just an orange blob. I don't understand why that is. So this
we could talk about it later, but you need to probably clear your cache because it works for me.
Okay, yeah, it's probably a cache issue. You know what I could do? I could just quickly test it in Midori, or not Midori, but Firefox, just because I just want to show the stream. You know, the calendar.
Tighten X.
Wow, even Firefox does it too. Nope, there we go. Finally loaded. Okay, so you can see here our stream schedule. If you're ever not sure when we're streaming, when are we live, here it is. You know, linuxtechandgaming.com/live/streaming schedule. And you can see it's every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can, I'm pretty sure you can like add this event to your Google Calendar, your own Google Calendar, so that you'll get cool little pop-ups on your mobile device or your tablet. And here's me sporting my new HTC One. Come at me, bro. My Android phone.
If you push the little plus button at the bottom of our calendar, it will add all of our events to your calendar.
Oh, there you go. Cool. And actually, I'm seeing there's one day that's missing from Ubu's live streaming, which is Friday nights, but that's on me. I got to get that updated. And you guys still don't have a consistent time when you stream either, that's your choice. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that pretty much wraps up episode 28 of Linux Tech and Gaming. Well, actually, we'll do a bonus thing since we have 1 minute, and then Osiris, and then we have to go. That's an hour and a half, about, even though we started a little late, so it's really not an hour and a half. But here, check out this cube-powered Linux box that's waterproof. Look at this thing. This was brought up to us by 2Coop4. He's on the Mumble server, you know, quite a bit, and he hangs out with us. He plays on UbuCraft. He plays in Team Fortress Tuesdays. He's active in the community. Good guy, you know. He's learning Linux, and he's picking it up pretty fast, I'll be honest, you know. And he found this little device. It's on Kickstarter, and it's a little waterproof case, and it's powered by Linux and wireless charging. It's the Cube Rocks. So you can see the outside of it has like a clock display on it. I'm sure actually the outside can display many different things because all it is little squares. And look at that right there. When it looks like he's holding it. So they have a $150,000 goal, and there's 30 days to go. The basic package price is at $199, and you will receive your cube at a special price of $100 off. So apparently, normally it's $299 retail, but you can get it, you know, for $199. What the hell did this website just do to me? It scrolled down. So look at this. They're showing water pouring right over it. It looks like this person's playing Tetris on it. Look at that. It's not a Rubik's Cube. It's much cooler. It's a waterproof Linux-powered cube.
It's a super cube with Linux.
And apparently, you can maybe what looks to be like control it. Oh yeah, that's the interface. Your smartphone is the interface. So if you wanted to play Tetris on it, you would use your smartphone and hit the little Tetris button. That is really neat. This is something on like I said, it's on Kickstarter. And yeah, check it out. So that's going to do it for this week's episode of Linux Tech and Gaming. Did I already say that once? I think I did.
Yeah, probably.
Here, we'll watch the video real quick. We usually don't show Kickstarter projects,
Hi
but
guys, my name is Dmitry.
we'll just check
Now
this
I'd
out
like
real
to
quick. It's
introduce
only
you
2
to
minutes.
CubeRox, a product that will change the way you interact with modern technology. We've created a simple, easy-to-use device loaded with features that you will find applicable in your daily use. The product is designed to make your interaction with technology more enjoyable and meaningful, fitting your lifestyle and habits.
CubeRox is a full-fledged computer with 6 displays and modern technologies inside. You can control your cube using simple gestures and
Wow,
manipulations that
look at
even a
that.
child can have.
It's got a gyroscope in it.
We wanted to add some new types of controlling
Look
the
at this.
cube to make you have fun.
Oh my
CubeRox
God.
can be controlled by swings, clicks, snaps and shakes. Try it. It's cool and it's simple. Wireless
Wow.
charging station, powerful battery and low power
Wireless
consumption
charging.
CPU will let you forget about charging this device. 6 identical faces create a monolithic structure without a single hole. This was made possible thanks to the use of wireless data transmission technologies like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and wireless
Dude, there's not
charging.
one hole in the cube.
All
Wow.
this made it possible to create not only a beautiful and functional device, but also make it dust-proof and water-resistant. Writing applications for the CubeRox is very simple. More than 100,000 packages in NPM.
Personally, I
allows
don't
for
like
unlimited
wireless
possibilities and
charging
functions.
because
Takes longer.
it has the same
If
weird
you don't have an
feel
app that
as
you need or
microwave
want,
ovens.
you can check out our Cube
I don't
Area,
have
the
one of
app
those in
store
my
for
house.
CubeRox,
Oh.
where you can access
Yeah.
and
Because
download hundreds
I
of
get
applications from
I
every
feel it
category
when
or
it
scope of
when it's
features.
running.
We've created a prototype of the product, and we need
Wow.
your support for its ultimate
I'm not
Okay.
a big fan of Wi-Fi
Please
either.
back our project so
for
that
the
we
same
can share
reason.
our technology with the rest of the world and make CubeRox a reality for Europe. Thank you.
And honestly, I'm not that excited about it running Linux. You know why? Because Linux has taken over the gadget category.
Yeah. I mean,
If it
well,
isn't-
it already has, right? Pretty
If
much.
it isn't an
My name is
iPhone,
Dmitry,
and it isn't an iPad,
It's Linux.
and it's not a desktop, then
Yeah.
it probably runs Linux.
Yep. And the ones that don't are a failure. Like the Microsoft
Yes.
Surface and that shit. Failures. Yes, yes. All right. So we're going to end the show on that note. That's a perfect note to end the show on. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you to those Patreons that support the show with the monetary contribution and monthly. You don't know how much that means to us. You know, that's huge. Huge, man. Huge. It's powering myself with my coffee. And, you know, we just actually had one of the supporters of the show change his donation from, you know, a certain amount to a larger amount, which is, you know, that's awesome. That's great. So those of you that didn't know we had a Patreon account going, that's because it's kind of weird how it's set up right now. It's set up as patreon.com/ubuntuaddicted. So you might think that that's just, you know, money going towards me. It's not. It's going towards Linux Tech and Gaming. You know, it's going for Osiris and Atomic, all three of us, split down the middle 3 ways, and we all get that. So if you are interested in supporting, you know, the show monetarily, besides just retweeting and sharing and stuff like that and showing up to the show, then, like I said, it's patreon.com/ubuntuaddicted, and you can read all about the Patreon and what its goals are and whatnot. You know, we're just trying to create a gaming community. You know, all three of us have 75 plus years of combined gaming knowledge. you know, and centered around Linux. So yeah, that's it. Check out the Patreon, and you can, and depending on your contribution level, you might get some swag, or you know, you might get something, some access to hidden Minecraft servers that we play on that other people don't have access to, things like that. So yeah, that's it. All right, thanks everybody for coming, and we will see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. If I don't see you, you know, in another one of my podcasts, streams, or Osiris's streams, or Atomic streams. All right, everybody have a good night, and we'll see you next time. Right, guys?
Peace. We're out. Oh, wait. Bam.